Welcome to Mythic Midwest. Tonight, we go deep into the most terrifying legend in Michigan history, the Michigan Dogman. Chapter 1. The legend begins. Deep in the dense pine forests of northern Michigan, something has been walking on two legs for over a century. Something that should not exist. Something that has been seen by hundreds of witnesses across generations. Something that leaves behind footprints too large to be human, and too human to be any known animal. They call it the Michigan Dogman. 7 feet tall, muscular humanoid body, the head of a snarling wolf, eyes that glow yellow in the darkness, and a scream. Witnesses describe a scream that sounds almost human. Almost, but wrong in a way that cannot be explained. This is not a campfire story invented to scare children. The Michigan Dogman has been reported by farmers, hunters, police officers, truck drivers, and ordinary families going about their ordinary lives. People who had nothing to gain and everything to lose by coming forward with their encounters. This is their story, and it begins in 1887. Chapter 2. The first sighting. It was a spring day in 1887 in Wexford County, Michigan. Two lumberjacks were working deep in the forest when they heard something moving through the trees ahead of them. Something heavy, something deliberate. They assumed it was a bear. Bears were common in northern Michigan, nothing to worry about. But then it stood up. What rose from the undergrowth ahead of them was not a bear. It stood upright on two powerful legs like a man, but its head was that of a massive wolf. Lips pulled back over enormous teeth. Yellow eyes fixed on the two men with an intelligence that no animal should possess. The lumberjacks ran. They ran. And they did not stop running until they reached the edge of the forest. Neither man ever went back into those woods alone again. Their account was recorded and largely forgotten. A curiosity, an oddity, the kind of story that gets told around a fire and then dismissed in the morning light. But the Dogman was not finished. Chapter 3. The 10-year cycle. Here is where the Michigan Dogman legend becomes truly unsettling. Over the decades following that first 1887 sighting, a pattern began to emerge. Reports of the creature seemed to cluster around specific years. Not random years, specific years. Years that all shared one thing in common. They ended in the number 7, 1897. 1917, 1937, 1957, 1967, 1977, 1987, 1997, 2007, 2017. Every 10 years, in years ending in 7, the sightings spike. Witnesses across northern Michigan independently report encounters with the same creature, a massive, upright, wolf-like being, always in the forests, always at night, always watching. No one has ever been able to explain this pattern. Skeptics dismiss it as coincidence or confirmation bias, but the witnesses keep coming, decade after decade, generation after generation. The same creature, the same description, the same yellow eyes. What returns every 10 years to the forests of northern Michigan? And why? Chapter 4. The song that changed everything. In 1987, the Michigan Dogman became famous. A radio DJ named Steve Cook at WTCM in Traverse City, Michigan, wrote and recorded a song called The Legend as an April Fool's Day joke. The song told the story of the Dogman in a dramatic spoken word format set to music. Cook expected people to laugh. Instead, His phone lines exploded. Listeners called in from across northern Michigan, not to laugh, not to ask about the joke, but to share their own encounters with the creature described in the song. Encounters they had never told anyone before. Encounters that matched the description in the song with terrifying precision. Cook had not invented the Michigan Dogman. He had accidentally given it a name that people recognised. The song became a regional phenomenon. It has been played every April Fool's Day on WTCM ever since. And every year, the calls come in. New witnesses, new sightings, the same creature. The legend raised over $20,000 for charity through tape sales. But more importantly, it opened a door that had long been closed. People who had seen something in the Michigan forests and stayed silent out of fear of ridicule finally had permission to speak. And what they described was always the same. Chapter 5. Modern Sightings. The Michigan Dogman did not stay in the past. In 2007, exactly on schedule, a video emerged online that became known as the Gable film. It appeared to show a creature matching the Dogman description, moving through a Michigan forest before attacking the cameraman. The footage was grainy and terrifying. It was later revealed to be a hoax created by a Michigan man as an homage to the legend. But the reaction to the footage was revealing. Thousands of people watched it and said, "That looks exactly like what I saw." In 2017, again on schedule, sightings clustered around the Manistee National Forest in northwestern Michigan. Hunters reported finding massive footprints in the mud along the riverbanks. Footprints that were not bear prints, not human prints, something in between, something that walked on two legs with a stride far longer than any human. One hunter set up trail cameras along a frequently travelled path near the forest. He retrieved the cameras after a week. Most images showed deer and raccoons, but on one camera, on one night in late October 2017, something tall, something upright, something that moved between the trees with impossible speed. The image was blurred. The creature was gone in an instant. The hunter sold his property the following spring. Chapter 6. What is the Michigan Dogman? So what is it? What is the Michigan Dogman? Researchers and investigators have proposed several theories over the years. The first theory is misidentification. Skeptics argue that all Dogman sightings are simply misidentified known animals. Bears walking upright, large dogs seen at a distance, the human brain pattern matching in darkness and fear. But this theory struggles to explain the consistency of witness descriptions across more than a century. Witnesses who have never heard of the Michigan Dogman and who come from completely different backgrounds consistently describe the same creature, the same height, the same gait, the same yellow eyes, the same almost human scream. The second theory is a surviving, prehistoric species. Some cryptozoologists believe the Michigan Dogman could be a surviving population of a prehistoric canine that somehow avoided extinction in the remote forests of northern Michigan. The Upper Peninsula alone contains thousands of square miles of wilderness that has never been fully explored. The third theory is something stranger. Some researchers who have investigated multiple Dogman sightings note that witnesses often report a sense of profound wrongness in the creature's presence, not just fear of a large predator, something deeper, something that triggers a response in the human brain that goes beyond normal animal encounters, as if whatever the Dogman is, it exists at a level that our minds were not built to process. No theory has been proven. No body has ever been found. No creature has ever been captured. The Michigan Dogman remains exactly what it has always been, a mystery walking on two legs through the dark forests of northern Michigan. Chapter 7. What to do if you encounter the Michigan Dogman. This final chapter is for those of you who live in or plan to visit northern Michigan. Witnesses who have encountered the Michigan Dogman and survived to tell about it share several consistent pieces of advice. Do not run. Every witness who ran reported that the creature followed them to the tree line before stopping. Running appears to trigger a pursuit response. Those who stood still reported that the creature observed them for a moment and then disappeared back into the forest. Do not make direct eye contact. Multiple witnesses report that maintaining eye contact with the creature seemed to agitate it. Look at it. Be aware of it. But do not stare directly into those yellow eyes. Do not go into the northern Michigan forest alone at night in years ending in 7. This should go without saying. But if you insist on ignoring this advice, tell someone where you're going and do not stray from marked paths. And if you hear something in the darkness that sounds almost like a human scream, but wrong, leave immediately. Do not investigate. Do not call out. Do not shine your light in the direction of the sound. Just leave. The Michigan Dogman has been in these forests for over a century. It was here before us, and it will be here long after we are gone. The next year, ending in 7, is 2027. It is coming. Thank you for watching Mythic Midwest. If this story kept you up at night, please subscribe and share with someone who loves a good mystery. New stories every week from the darkest corners of the Great Lakes region. Stay safe out there and watch the tree line.